Okay, dear students, we are going to start with the next session, that is on Pythagoras theorem. Now, I will tell you the logic behind the proofs here. What you have to develop now, on the same diagram, how many questions you can do like that. So for every theorem, if you design a new diagram and if you write some different statement reason format, then it is a waste of energy. Now I am telling you one thing which will be applicable for the same diagram I am going to use for three theorems. Basically, we are going to work on that now. Suppose we are talking about triangle ABC, which is 90 degree here. So it is a right angle triangle. So you know Pythagoras theorem, what it is. AB square plus BC square is equal to AC square. That is what we write. But there is one proof which we have to handle now. When you drop the perpendicular on the hypotenuse, that is point D now. How many triangles are formed? 1 and 2. But if I ask you how many right angle triangles are there, then your answer is going to be 3, because the main triangle, then the smaller triangle, and this triangle, there are in all 3 right angle triangles. So the first property what we have to write here is similarity in right angled triangle. Similarity in right angled triangle. Now what it means for you? There will be 3 triangles which are formed, which you have to prove similar to the original. These triangles are similar to each other, at the same time they are similar to the original triangle. Now I am giving you one idea to remember this sequence, because in similarity one-to-one correspondence is more important. When I say ABC, then other triangle I cannot say APQ or ADB of my choice. There has to be some sequence that you have to develop. See here, you must have used or heard the word on television, that is OLX. Now what this means here in this? L stands for, see, when I write the capital letter L, the angle between them is 90 degrees here. So wherever 90-degree angle will come, I will be calling that angle as L. Now what is that O and X? So now you see basic triangle. Now if I mark this as O, this is going to be 90 degrees. So that is going to be L, and this one is going to be X. So my first OLX is going to be triangle ABC. You understood this? It is OLX. L means 90 degree. Now if you see the other triangle, now this is right angle triangle. Now if I want to name that as OLX, then O and L are already there. So this angle will be X. So the name of that is OLX. So it is ADB triangle. And what about the third one? Third one is OLX. L and X are already there. This is O. So we can write triangle B, D and C. This is how we have to learn. And if you understand this, this is first bigger OLX, this is smaller OLX, and this is the last OLX. This is what you have to prove. This is proof. They normally ask you this question, that if you draw the perpendicular on the hypotenuse, whatever right angle triangles are formed, these are similar to each other. At the same time, they are similar to the original triangle. Now see, this, once you decide this, then the proof is easier. I am going to tell you the methodical approach for this. There is some, as you know, that we are going to make use of some statement reason pattern. Now my first statement I am going to write here. Now what it means, we have to focus on this rule first. We have to take this pair, bigger OLX and the smaller OLX. So I am going to write here, in triangle ABC and triangle ADB. See my explanation. You can complete this proof effectively within 2-3 minutes. Now what you have to do is, we have to forget about this triangle symbol and write angle. Angle ABC is congruent to angle ADB or not. Now you see the figure. ABC is 90 degrees and ADC is also 90 degrees. ADB angle, whether you are going to 90 degrees here, so we have to write both major. We have to write both major 90 degrees. Now the thing is going to be the second statement now. Now if you see here, both the triangles, they start with the same letter. So keep that at the center. Means what? Angle BAC, we have to make or write congruent with angle DAB. Now you check the diagram. See, from the diagram you don't go for this. Whatever my explanation you understand, accordingly you go here and then you check it whether it is right. It will be definitely correct. BAC means this angle, BAC, and DAB, is it the same angle we are talking about? And the reason what you have to write here is common angle. Now the third one. Two pairs of angles are enough to prove the triangles congruent. So I am writing triangle ABC is similar to triangle ADB. What we should write here? We should write this as AA test of similarity. Is this clear to you? What we have to do further? I am supposed to make sure that this is going to be the important statement of the proof. So I need to put the box for this. Now number 4. As I have taken the first and second triangle, now I will go for these two. Procedure is exactly identical. In triangle ABC and triangle, it is BDC. Now, whatever I have explained you in the first set, I will be following the same thing here. Instead of triangle, I will put angle symbol. Here also, angle BDC. And then I will check the diagram. ABC is 90 degrees. BDC is also 90 degrees. So here, we have to write both major. What do you have to write? 90 degrees. Now in the earlier set, starting letter is same which we kept in the center. Now here we have to say end letter is same. We will keep that at the center, and that is what it becomes. BCA is congruent to DCB. Now check that. BCA is this angle. DCB is also the same angle. So reason here is common angle. Now what it is to be done further? The pair of angles which we have shown, two pairs are enough to prove the triangles are similar. So triangle ABC is similar to triangle BDC. I will put the box for this. What I need to write here? This is going to be AA test of similarity. Now it's normal algebra method. If A is equal to B and again I write A is equal to C, then definitely I can write A is equal to B is equal to C. See, both the statements which I kept in the box, they are having the same left hand side. So, what you should write here? Therefore, triangle ABC is similar to triangle ADB is similar to triangle BDC. Reason what you have to write here from statement number 3 and 6. Are you getting this properly? Actually, this is the first theorem what we can expect. They will give you the diagram. They will write everything here. Suppose the triangle name is PQR and then QR, QS is perpendicular. Then accordingly the naming will change, but the system will not change here. Is that clear to you? This particular diagram is used for another two proofs. Let us understand what can be the logic behind this. And this is how we have to remember this, because at the time of exam, you will not be in a position to invent new things. Whatever is there in the textbook, they will ask you. Whatever is based on the textbook, they will have a freedom to ask you questions like this. But the things are not totally different. So your preparation should be planned like this, that there is a diagram in this way. So on the basis of same diagram, you can complete two more proofs. So you should remember that order. So in the exam, you can start at the appropriate step and end your proof in an appropriate decided time. Is it clear to you? See, the way I have told you, this is a proof in front of you, but same diagram, but it is related with geometric mean property. It is called as geometric mean property. Now, what does it mean? The perpendicular drawn on the hypotenuse is the geometric mean of the parts in which hypotenuse gets divided. Hypotenuse is getting divided into two parts. So, BD square is equal to AD multiplied by DC. This is what you have to prove. Now, the proof is not difficult at all. Definitely the statement what you have to prove is different, but sequence will not get affected. That is what you can say, that is the importance of this type of questions. Now we have completed one theorem related with similarity in right angle triangle. So we are not going to disturb those statements, only the final thing will change. Now what you have to do is, first you have to write that OLX, that is to be done in rough, correct? Now first OLX, second OLX and third OLX, the system will remain the same, but the last statement will be different. See what I am writing. First three statements, matlab we have to take ABC and ADB, you prove them similar. Then again the second proof, ABC and BDC you have to prove similar. Now I am saying that their left hand sides are same, therefore right hand sides are to be equated. So what I should write? Therefore ADB is similar to triangle BDC. Can you write it like this? This is also having the same reason, that is from statement number 3 and 6. See, in the earlier proof, what we have done, we have written ABC also, because that was a requirement in that proof. Now we don't want this, we will equate only the right hand sides. Now we have to derive something related with the sides, so what we need to do is, we have to write down the sides which are in proportion. Now what I will do, I will write AD here upon BD. Then second and third later, that is DB upon DC. Correct? Actually, how many ratios we write? We write 3 ratios, but in this particular question, that last ratio is not of any use, because we are going to write AB upon BC, which we don't write or don't require here. So we have written only this part. So here the reason is same, that is CSST, corresponding sides of similar triangles. Now we will do cross multiplication here. It is AD multiplied by DC, that is equal to DB multiplied by BD or not. That is, I can write AD multiplied by DC. See, DB and BD is one and the same. So we can write this part as BD square. I think this is what you require to prove. So only the last part we have to modify, but the basic method is same. This is how you can save your time, that when you prepare something, if you are doing a revision, then you can focus on one diagram. That diagram is useful for 3 theorems. We have finished 2. Now you will enjoy that, because the Pythagoras theorem, what we are talking about as a main theorem of this lesson, that is also feasible on the basis of the same logic. Slightly different change we have to make it, but that is possible, that you can easily understand. You understood this part, geometric mean property of a right angle triangle. We have to do it on the basis of the same pattern of the earlier theorem. I hope you must have understood this. There is a possibility of some questions definitely based on geometric mean property of right angle triangle. We will go for Pythagoras theorem now. Now we will start with this new theorem, that is this one, Pythagoras theorem based on the same diagram, but this part is not there in the beginning. What they will say, given is triangle ABC where angle ABC is 90 degrees, show that AB square plus BC square is equal to AC square. Now this middle line is a construction. Construction is draw BD perpendicular to AC such that we can write A dash D dash C. Now this is the only change what we are observing here. Then the diagram remains the same. Now I am just making some modification here. We have to prove this. What is to be done? We have to write OLX 3 times, because there are 3 right angle triangles formed. First one is ABC, next one is ADB, and the last one is BDC. These are the 3 triangles which you observe. So triangle ABC is, now what we have to do? I told you earlier that the same diagram we are using for 3 theorems. So basic thing will be same, order is also same, slight modification is definitely expected. So what it is, I am just making some arrangement here. You don't write the reasons here now. In the exam you will be writing one below each other, but now the statement is 1, 2, 3 as it is. Now I am writing 4th statement here. This is statement number 4. Now what we are going to do, in geometry we want to get AB square, and that is possible if and only if we are writing AB in this form, AB upon AB. Now if you get AB like this, then you are going to get AB square after cross multiplication. So what we are planning here, we will write the ratios which are of some importance. The ratio which is not involved in the calculation, that we will not write only. So now what happens, this AB is of this AB of this side, this triangle. So in place of this AB upon, what you should write here, AD. Now this AB is of second triangle. Now if I write AB means first and third letter, then I should write first and third letter here. So reason for this is corresponding sides of similar triangles. Now we are going to have statement number 5 here. Cross multiply. See, we are planning that ratio. Huh? We are not writing ratio and then we are getting that answer. No, it is not like that. I am giving you some different method where you are planning that answer in the beginning. So I am writing AB square is equal to AD multiplied by AC. I will put the box for this because we are interested in getting the answer of AB square. Now this statement will become statement number 6. After that, this is going to be statement number 7. This is going to be statement number 8. Now I am writing statement number 9 here. Now I want BC square. Correct. Now BC square, how will you get? We want to write BC upon E. Here we write BC. So this is how another plan to get BC square. In geometry we get BC and BC on the either side, one in the numerator, other in the denominator. Then by cross multiplication we get BC square. Now this BC is nothing but second and third letter. So this is DC or not. And now if this is BC, then this one you have to write here, that is AC. Reason will be same, CSCT. Corresponding sides of similar triangles. Now we'll go ahead. The 10th one. Now you cross multiply. So we are going to get BC square is equal to AC multiplied by DC. Are you getting it? And therefore, this is also one of the important proof, one of the important statements. Because we need BC square. So we have got the two answers. And now what we have to write? We are going to make use of the last statement I am writing here. Now, see here, statement number 1, 2, 3. Then this is 4 and 5. Statement number 6, 7, 8. Statement number 9 and 10. These are the modifications. Now my statement number 11. What you have to do is, we have to add statement number 5 and statement number 10. So I am writing AB square plus BC square is equal to, what you should write? Right hand sides are also added, AD multiplied by AC plus AC multiplied by DC. Is that right? So now you tell me further part of this. What you can take common in this part? We can take AC common, multiply this by, what you should have in the bracket? It is AD plus DC. Then what? AC here, multiplied by AD plus DC. Now this point is D already. So AD plus DC is giving you AC. And that's why you are going to get AC square. This is a way we have to complete the proof without any mistake. See, there is some definite proper approach for solving this. I have just given you the hint. So many things you can learn from your own side. If you practice more, you can get some connection. Now I have given you only one example here. This particular figure will be helpful for completing 3 such proofs. First one is what? Similarity in a right angle triangle. Second one, geometric mean property of a right angle triangle. And then the third one is Pythagoras theorem itself. Now these 3 theorems are based on the same diagram. Slight modification in the statement reason form that you can very well understand, and you can secure full marks if this theorem is asked. Okay, we will try one more question. This is not from the textbook. This is based on whatever we have studied just now. It is related with geometric mean property. Now tell me, this is little complicated. I will explain you step by step. ABC is a basic right angle triangle I have drawn. Then from here I have dropped the perpendicular. Now that dropping the perpendicular is nothing but that BD point D point we are going to get. So now how many right angle triangles are formed? First one is ABC, then it is ADB, then it is BDC. Then from this right angle triangle, from this 90-degree angle, we are dropping the perpendicular again on this side and this side also. Now one simple question I am asking you. If you are talking about a right angle triangle basically, what you can say, this angle is major angle PBQ is 90 degrees. Major angle PBQ is 90 degrees, that is given to you. After that you are dropping the perpendicular here. So major angle DPB, that is this angle DPB, is equal to major angle DQB or not, and that is going to be 90 degree or not. Correct? So this is, so three angles are becoming 90. Therefore we have to say major angle PDQ is also 90 degrees. So reason what we are supposed to write from statement number 1 and 2 and remaining angle. This is allowed in the exam. Remaining angle of quadrilateral. Remaining angle of quadrilateral. Now what it means? You are getting all right angle triangles and therefore quadrilateral PBQD. Quadrilateral, instead of this we will go for the same order from this. Therefore quadrilateral BQDP is rectangle. That is what we can write. This is a part which is compulsory, that area of quadrilateral they have given, but we don't know what kind of quadrilateral it is. Now you know that it is rectangle, so definitely the part which is based on that, it is going to be a rectangle, so length into breadth will come into picture. Now you talk about this. In triangle ADB, now in this triangle DP is perpendicular to AB. So I am writing here DP is perpendicular to AB, but I am writing their specific word, that is hypotenuse. DP is perpendicular to AB. So I can write DP square is equal to, it is AP multiplied by PB. That is what we are going to highlight. Is this clear to you? And for this we have to write a reason, geometric mean property of a right angle triangle. I am writing the next one. Here DP square we have written. Now we will take BDC triangle. So I am writing in triangle BDC. What you should write? DQ is perpendicular to, it is hypotenuse BC or not. DQ is perpendicular to hypotenuse. Therefore again we can make use of geometric mean property, that is DQ square is equal to BQ multiplied by QC. I can highlight this. Is that right? DQ square is BQ multiplied by QC. So what you are going to write after that? BQ multiplied by QC, and this we want here. But the logic is something different. 7th statement I write. Area of quadrilateral BQDP. Now you know that this particular quadrilateral is rectangle. Area of rectangle is length into breadth. So now what I will consider? This as length and this as breadth. So I am going to write dp multiplied by dq. dp multiplied by dq. But remember one more logic here. This side will remain as it is, intact, that is bq dp. But the right hand side here is square root of. Why we are making it? Because that is a requirement. Now remember one thing, if I want to write 3, but I want to use a square root sign, then definitely what we can do is, we can write 3 square. And that is the part which we have to apply. If you want to put a square root sign, then I should write dp square multiplied by dq square or not. And the last statement what we can write is area of quadrilateral BQDP is going to be square root of. These answers we have already written here. dp square is nothing but what? dp square is nothing but AP multiplied by PB. Multiply this by dq square, answer also you have written here. That answer is nothing but BQ multiplied by QC. See, the questions are easier, but slightly you have to think on that. See, even if you write something, this one, then you will definitely after some time, not immediately, but after some time you can start getting some hints automatically. See, first thing what you have to write, it is a quadrilateral. And that quadrilateral, it is not a trapezium. At least we can prove that it is a rectangle. Then once you are going for rectangle, then we have to go for the area of that. So length into breadth. But then we can realize that yes, there can be geometric mean property applicable. So that is how we have to proceed. The things are not at all difficult. It's just a question of solving maximum sums of this kind, which you can get it from different sources. This is just an idea of I am giving you. This is not the sum which is going to be asked in the exam. But the similar kind of questions you can always try. If you feel that yes, the geometry portion from your side it is over, then don't be under impression that you are you have done enough. Because maximum practice, maximum number of sums you should keep on trying till the exam. That will definitely boost up your confidence about attempting the geometry paper. Is it right? I hope this particular part is clear to you. We are going to discuss something more regarding this Pythagoras theorem topic in the next session.